Look, I'm telling you right now, you guys might want to start throwing some cheese around, okay? Little cheese, little on those old school wood traps, because the rats are going to try and start getting back on the ship. I can already smell it. All right, I can already sense it. You know, things are brewing over in Dolphins land, and people are taking notice. All right. It was very interesting seeing what was going on this weekend because all of a sudden, Tua Tagovailoa hits Tyreek Hill in stride for a bomb in practice in front of the fans as he says, that was money. And people are erupting. Video goes viral. Everyone's loving it. And you start seeing all around the internet the rats who were rats off a ship, jumped in, didn't want to be on the ship, got their fur soaked because they didn't want to stick around. They thought that things were going to go bad, and they skedaddled off of them. I'm talking to you, Colin Cowherd, sitting on here. You're talking about, impressed with Tua's practice throws. I'm not going to let you do that, all right? Nice try. There'd be a lot of other people I'd let this slide on. People are allowed to have new opinions. People are allowed to waffle from time to time, maybe get some new information. But you, sir, you're the biggest rat of them all because you were in the Tua documentary. You were in this Tua documentary. You were talking about all college. You were talking about throughout this documentary, a propaganda piece put out by Fox Sports. And there you were, chirping it away, having Dilfer on every week saying how great Tua's going to be. And then right before the season, rats off a ship. You're like, all of a sudden, I don't think he's going to be Drew Brees. Well, now all of a sudden that you think he could be Drew Brees and you think that the Miami Dolphins are building something special, all of a sudden, you want to start getting on the ship. No, sir. No, sir. And you're going to be the first of many. Listen, there's going to be a Pied Piper of rats. All right? You might as well call Tua the Pied Piper because he's going to be out here impressing people left and right. And all these people who are taking dumps on him all over social media, they're going to be coming back hat in hand. Oh, please, Tua, please. Oh, I'm so sorry. And he's going to, what he's going to say? Welcome aboard, because he's a sweetheart. That's why. Probably give you a Christmas card and an edible arrangement while you hop on the SS Tua, while you hop on his ship. But we'll remember, I've taken notes. All right, I've taken notes. I am specifically keeping an eye on this hell dweller, Chris Sims, and seeing what he's got going on. I'll be keeping an eye because I know the things you said. You know the things you said. You put him and Mike McDaniel in a stupid little wrestling poll, and you put him at the bottom of your stupid little power rankings. You put him behind the likes of Kenny Pickett and his baby hands. I'm keeping an eye on it. So Colin Cowherd, nice try, dude. Nice try. The rats, dude. Put that cheese out for everybody. I'm telling you right now. They are starting to gather. Pro Football Focus, stop disrespecting Tua. Okay, dude. How about some of your writers who are sitting here hosing them down left and right? Don't think I don't notice this stuff. I notice all this stuff. And so it was very interesting seeing Tua hit that bomb this weekend and everybody going crazy. And by the way, that wasn't his only play. He was dropping it all over the place. He looked fantastic, quite frankly. And people are just sitting here, oh, my God, this could be something. Yeah, it could be, couldn't it? Couldn't it? More importantly, with these rats like Colin Cowherd and Pro Football Focus, and I'm sure you're going to have everybody from that jet up, Greeny and Bart Scott, and Lord knows that. I mean, could they have any more Jets on that show? I ask you, because every time I look at this, and it's like, topic, Miami Vice, is Tyreek Hill talking too much? Meanwhile, it's like, if anybody else says anything positive, they're just like, oh, pretty good. That's pretty good, love. I love hearing that. But if it's jet up and they see, things are happening in Dolphins land, no, let me tell you why they're not. Hey, let's bring on the guy who once ruined their franchise, Mike Tannenbaum. Mike, what do you got on this? I got to tell you guys, I think that you being positive about your teammate is actually going to have a negative effect. Oh, all right, Mike. How about Mike Tannenbaum there, guys? Tanny. He was on the Jets, AFC Championships. Rex Ryan, you guys remember. Yeah, he nuked their cap and gave Mark Sanchez all that money. But, who cares? Oh, he did it with the Dolphins too? We don't care. We don't talk about that. As long as you were good in New York or somewhat good in New York, we always remember that. We don't care what you did in South Florida. We're looking at you, Bill Parcells. Same thing. They dig up his old ass and put him on television. Oh, what do you got for us, Bill? You don't want your quarterback to be a star. You don't want to be glamorous. It's like, oh, thanks, Bill. Let's go talk about what you did 35 years ago. By the way, didn't you ruin the Dolphins? No. All right. Did you draft Pat White? It was Ireland. Was it? Do we know? You never know with this stuff. Look, more importantly than any of this stuff, more important than Colin Cowherd or whatever those idiots on Jet Up are going to say today, or whenever Chris Sims apologizes, or any other website that wants to act like they weren't hosing down Tua, even though they hosed down Tua. More importantly, Goosey's galore is when you have Javon Holland out here tweeting something like, "In Tua we trust." That's Goosey's, dude. That's not only Goosey's, that's Goosey's galore. That's double G. And I got to be honest with you, it's right there on the cusp of Gennady Golovkin. And if you guys don't know what that is, that's triple G. That's Goosey's on Goosey's galore. Because you have him coming out there like that, just Javon Holland. What a kid, huh? I mean, like, first of all, amazing rookie, all right? He's like a little Buddha, wise beyond his years, ball hawk, hits hard, all that stuff. And the snowman's coming out here, and he's telling you, "Until we trust." By the way, co-signed by Brandon Jones, which is beautiful. And so you go out here, and it's like the vibe it must have been on Saturday. And I wasn't there because I had the MMA show, so Saturdays are tough for me. But, like, it looked like a party. It looked like an absolute party. I can't wait to be back out there on Tuesday to go check this out with the people there. But it looked like an absolute party between Tyreek Hill doing mother bleeping backflips and telling people to get your popcorn ready, and then delivering on said, having your popcorn ready. They should have been throwing popcorn onto the field out of joy and happiness. It should look like that. But Javon Holland, Brandon Jones, Tyreek Hill, everybody out here who's so publicly in front of their quarterback is so great to see. Because it was the opposite of that last year. It was a beautiful thing. Now, this also was letting the goose loose, okay? I don't know if you guys know about Larry Zonka. Legend. What kind of thing am I saying? Of course you guys know about Larry Zonka. If you don't, I don't know how you found us. But the point is, Larry Zonka, he spoke to the media with Larry Little. They're going to do 50th anniversary of the 72 team this year. Wearing a patch. They're going to honor him on Sunday Night Football. That's going to be Goosey's because that's going to be an interesting week with Flores coming back to town. All this drama is going to be drummed up. So they say, counterpoint. All right, let's bring up the 72 team for the 50th anniversary. Now, in fairness, the Dolphins have honored the 72 team seemingly every single year since 1972. But 50 is a big deal. All right, that's a big anniversary. So you better do something. But this was kind of cool. So Larry Zonka, who along with Larry Little, you'll hear both in the clip, but Larry Zonka talks about why he thinks the Mike McDaniel hire, in a lot of ways, is a reflection on the Don Shula hire. Now, we've heard this before, but mostly it's Stephen Ross being a blowhard, and he's like, "Oh, Joe Philbin's got a lot of the qualities of Don Shula." But you got Zonk saying where he sees the parallels, and this was pretty cool.
Shula came in 70, and it's very similar to what's happening right here in Miami right now, because there was a lot of talk before Shula signed that there was going to be an addition named Coach Bear Bryant was going to be the head coach. And it really came down to the final throes of the contract. It really looked like we were going to have Coach Bryant as the head coach. And then it blew up. Then there was fire and smoke, and everybody was in a turmoil. Who were we going to get? All of a sudden Shula comes walking out of the smoke. And when this all happened here in the last year of all the turmoil that you've seen, it occurred to me that's kind of similar to 70 in some respects. And all of a sudden, a new head coach steps out.
A young head coach.
Yeah.
Coach.
And a guy that's just as intense. A little bit I've been around him. Correct me if I'm wrong. But he has the intensity. I don't think he's as vocal as what Shula. I don't think
nobody's vocal as Shula.
How about that, dude? Tell me that doesn't just get your goose loose. Like, that's a beautiful thing from Larry Zonka. First of all, shout out to Zonk, because this guy has got we talk about check your pulse. This guy's got the pulse. He's like following everything. He's like a Dolphins guardian angel, just watching above, and is just like got his pulse on everything. And what a cool thing because you remember the video of Mike McDaniel walking down the halls when he gets the gig, and he's got the suit on, he's suited and booted, and he's just going about the legends like Thomas, Jason Taylor, Sam Madison, Larry Zonka, Dan Marino. And, to get something like that from a legend, an icon in the franchise just has to be unbelievably cool for Mike McDaniel. And by the way, if you guys don't follow Larry Zonka, which I do, it's the greatest Twitter follow during Dolphins games. He's so good, whether it be positive, whether it be negative, loves the hashtags. And I shout out to Barry Jackson, because Barry Jackson asked Larry Zonka about the tweets during the games, and this is what Zonk had to say.
Zonk, your tweets during games suggest that you're really into it when you're watching Dolphins on NFL Sunday Ticket.
How could you not be?
So are you like a fan there on the couch where you actually grow irritated if something bad happens, and you're really, really thrilled if they do a huge play or get a win?
I expect them to do really well. It's upsetting when they don't. And you still feel an attachment.
Yeah, that's so good. I love it. Zonk, dude. Zonk. I still want him to be cold weather samurai, cold weather sensei to Tua Tagovailoa during the offseason. Apparently he's not living in Alaska though anymore. He's living in North Carolina. So they got to take a group trip, family Dolphins trip to Alaska to do the cold weather training. Anyway, I'm telling you, man, that was a fun weekend for the Dolphin fan. Probably like the most positive in a while. People have been fired up all off season, but to see something like that bring everybody together and have double birds, which, by the way, Tua's dropping dimes. You got this Josh Allen, he's fighting people in camp. Zach Wilson, he's bleeping his mom's friends. They can't get their stuff together. Mac Jones, he has an ab, so people are impressed. So, just an interesting thing for the rest of the AFC East. But Tua Tagovailoa, the Tyreek Hill, the popcorn was consumed.